Good afternoon. We haven't done one of these videos for a while, and I'd intended to do one yesterday on April Fool's Day and do some kind of an April Fool's thing, but missed the opportunity, so I guess the April Fool's joke is on me. First of all, I would like to thank Lisa Spencer and Natalie Daggett and Scott Knauer and whoever else is on their marketing committee, Audie Garcia. They put on a fabulous lunch today in the Commons with hamburgers and hot dogs and really good cookies from Baby J's. And I'd also really like to thank Nathan Freeman for donating as much, most of the food really for the cookout, so that we could have a really nice, it was really kind of a nice get together. There were lots of students there, lots of employees, but this is our opportunity to kick off Community College Month. So not only is April Fool's, we have the beginning of Community College Month. And I do want to add too that CAP also did contribute to the lunch too, as they so often do for so many of our different events. But anyway, this is a kickoff of Community College Month. And before we go any further, I want to remind you of all the fabulous events that our committee has put together. I think we found the right mix of events so that we basically have something fun scheduled every week, so that we can celebrate with our students throughout the month. The next thing will be on April 11th. We have Second City from our Cultural Arts series. Second City is a comedy improv group out of Chicago. They launch most of the Saturday Night Live comedians that are on Saturday Night Live. So this is a really big opportunity for us to bring a group to the college of national significance. So they will be at Marshall Auditorium on April the 11th, which I think is a Thursday. Is that right? It's a Thursday. Okay. On April 17th, we are having the first annual Prairie Dog Relay Games. I'm not exactly sure what this is, as a matter of fact. It has something to do with taking stuff out of a suitcase and a three-legged race and things like that. Toilet papering yourself or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's probably better that it's more of a surprise, so we're encouraging everybody to show up and participate in this. It starts at 11:45 a.m. and it will be on the tennis courts, so we'll have plenty of room to be able to spread around. And I did hear that there's something about jumping off the roof for a finale or something like that, so there's all that to look forward to if you're a little bit more on the adventurous side. And then on April 19th, we will be hosting the Moises Barella Dance. CAB will sponsor this, and this is a dance in memory of Moises Barella, who is one of our students and was very involved in CAB. But this will be held from 7 to 11 p.m. in the gym in the HPE Center. And this is a free event for all people with a CCD ID card and $2 for anyone else who wants to attend. And then on April the 23rd, we're having a student recognition ceremony once again in the Commons. And the student recognition ceremony will begin at 11:30, and it says here it starts at 11 and ends at 11:30, but it'll end whenever it's over with. Rooney and Moon will be there for the student recognition ceremony. This is our opportunity to be able to recognize students that faculty and other staff have nominated to receive some sort of special recognition, either for academics or for volunteering, and just for going a little bit beyond the ordinary and for doing more than what we expect of our students. So this is something that we started doing last year, and I think that it's an important thing for us to keep doing. And also Baby J's will provide cookies and some sort of drink after the reception. So come for the student recognition ceremony and then stay for the cookies. I just sent out an email a few minutes ago to everybody about new ID cards. And lest anyone get too concerned and think that we're turning into a police state making everybody wear an ID all the time, let me just clarify what the intent is. We sent out an email a while back asking you to vote for the design that you like the best for a new ID card. Our ID cards are really old. We have several different ID card styles that are floating around. So the main idea is to get some consistency in the ID cards and have everybody use the same ID card. And then what we'd like to do is during peak times like registration, where we have a lot of students wandering around who need directions or some other type of assistance, that we can be identified by having the ID card on either through a lanyard or somebody told me you could make a pin or something like that if you're one of those clever kind of people. So whatever you want to do, but something to where we all have an ID on that we are all identified as staff at CCC for students or any other visitors who happen to come in during that time period. I also want to make a little pitch for, it's really hard to do this on the camera to get this centered the right way. Anyway, I want to make a pitch for this blue cup. This blue cup costs $6. It has its own straw that comes in it that doesn't come out of the cup when you put it in the right way. So for $6, and that may not sound like all that much of a bargain just for this plastic cup, but it's for more than just the plastic cup. For $6, you are now entitled to 50-cent refills at Baby J's all during the month of April, and also this little cup the proceeds go to our scholarship funds for the foundation. So this is not just, some scam to get you to pay $6 for a plastic cup. It was actually going to be $10, and so when I found out it was $6, it seemed like an incredible bargain to me. Anyway, it's a really nice little blue cup here. So you can buy those at Baby J's, and they're dishwasher safe, I've just been informed, so that makes them an even better bargain. The fall schedules, these right here, are available now, so please pick one of these up wherever you happen to see one. They will be distributed in the mall. They're all over the campus here. But let students know, obviously, this is also online, and any sorts of changes or corrections that are made to it will be made online. So if you're looking for the absolute most up-to-date version, your best bet is to look online, but it's also nice to have all this information in paper format. I would like to also thank Mark Busson and all of the HPE staff for the St. Patrick's Day racquetball tournament that they hosted during St. Patrick's Day weekend. They had a fabulous turnout again, and they raised money for scholarships and also for our wellness program. So the money that they're raising from this racquetball tournament will also be used to help subsidize our wellness program, so that when everyone does the contests that Jan promotes, and we do things like win t-shirts and gift certificates and things like that, we now have a revenue source identified for all of that. But it's a big deal to put on a racquetball tournament like that, and so I'd like for everybody to be aware of how much they do, and to thank them when you see them. There are lots of things going on this month. It's a busy month. We're getting close to the end of the semester. The other one thing that I do want to mention is that we are contemplating changing our spring break for next year. Probably a lot of you have heard that Clovis Municipal Schools is changing its spring break to April 7th through 11th next year. Some of the small schools that we work with have already changed their spring break and chosen a week in April to have spring break. And this is to accommodate students and other people who want to either to watch or to participate in mostly the state basketball tournament, which has been during our spring break, and then also to maintain the integrity of the testing weeks that are already established by the state. So if they want to give the kids that are athletes that are attending the state basketball tournament a spring break, the only time really to do it is to move spring break to earlier in April. And I'm trying to get more information and asking for input from students, and trying to determine what will be the best course of action for us. And then obviously our board will have to approve any sort of change that we might wish to recommend. But it looks like about half of the schools that we work with are already changing their spring break to the time in April. ENMU is keeping the March spring break, so that is certainly a consideration for us. But it's not an easy decision, and I'm trying to gather as much information as possible and make a decision based upon, I guess, the old utilitarian principle, the greatest good for the greatest number. If there's anything that I can do for any of you, if you have any other ideas for great events during Community College Month, we're always looking for suggestions for the future and trying to build on what we do and make it a little bit better every year. So please let me know. But I think I'm very impressed with what our group has come up with for this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's also going to be a good way to highlight what we've done for the public, so that everybody's aware of who we are and what we do and what our mission is. Again, thanks to all of you for all of the hard work that you do. and for all of the efforts that you put forward for our students all the time. As always, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. Okay, here's part 2 of the post-April Fool's video. First of all, I forgot to move the orchid that my mother gave me for spring into the picture so that everybody could see the nice orchid that I have, because it's speckled and that's kind of unusual, I've been told. But the other thing that I wanted to discuss for just a second was the outcome of the legislative session. First of all, I want to say that I think Clovis Community College did extremely well in the legislative session, and I think that's really thanks to the hard work of Tom Drake and really everybody who works here. Our funding went up approximately 8%, mostly because we had such an increase in the production of degrees and certificates. So that means that there were a lot of people who were involved in finding people who had almost completed degrees and certificates, or people who completed degrees and certificates and hadn't actually applied to graduate. But it was kind of a large process that was mostly spearheaded by Robin Jones and Rosie Corey, but it really has translated into some additional funding for us. One thing, though, that has changed a little bit from the last time that I spoke to all of you, I believe, which was at Skillfest, is what happened with the ERB bill. At one point, we thought that the legislature was going to sunset the ERB clause that had required us to pay an extra 1.75% of our check into ERB, and that on June 30th that we would no longer be required to pay that extra portion. Well, they're going to require us to keep paying that extra portion and then a little bit of extra. And I think, the governor hasn't actually signed House Bill 2 yet, so this is all a little bit iffy. The ERB part is solid, though. That part has already been approved. But there is a 1% compensation increase for all employees that's on the table. So if you put those together, I think that the compensation would be something like 0.7 or 0.3% raise for everyone. I wouldn't even call that a raise, so don't get too excited about that. But we are looking at the possibility of maybe being able to offer something in addition to the point-something% raise that should come from what we get through the state. But anyway, I wanted everyone to know that this was a good year for us. We anticipate next year being a good year for us. But you know, you never really know how those things go. The ERB change happened on the Friday night before the session ended on Saturday, so things can happen at the last minute. As I said, the governor has not signed the budget bill yet, so some of this is subject to change. And I will keep you updated as these things happen, but I haven't communicated anything any more formally than this because it's not a done deal yet. Anyway, happy spring, happy April Community College Month. Remember, go buy your blue cup for $6 and support our students, and you get 50-cent refills every time. And Scott Knauer is right. I think everything does taste better in this blue cup.